Imagine waking up not on Earth, but floating hundreds of kilometers above it, where day and night race past your window every 45 minutes, and where every sunrise feels like a glimpse into the divine. Welcome aboard the International Space Station. Today, we're not just watching an ordinary astronaut routine, we're stepping into a mystical journey. Hello, everybody. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to sip coffee while watching Earthrise? Or how surreal it must be to drift in silence while stars shimmer endlessly beyond the glass? Stay with me, because in this mystical edition of A Day in the Life of an International Space Station Astronaut, we'll dive into rare moments that blur the line between science and the sacred. Before we begin, let me ask you, if you had the chance to look down on Earth from space, what would you search for first? Your hometown, the oceans, or maybe the glow of the auroras? Think about it, and if you're curious about more cosmic wonders, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really helps us keep exploring together. The day begins not with the sound of an alarm clock, but with soft beeping inside a cocoon-like sleeping pod. Imagine floating awake. Your body isn't lying on a bed, it's suspended in weightlessness, gently strapped into place. Astronauts on the International Space Station wake up to a sun that never rests. Because the station orbits Earth about 16 times a day, they witness 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every 24 hours. But here's where the mystical twist begins. The very first sunlight piercing through the porthole is unlike anything on Earth. The glow isn't red or orange, it's golden white, spilling across the curve of our planet like a halo. One astronaut once described it as a cathedral window opening to infinity. And as the light washes over the cabin, shadows stretch and float with no gravity to pull them down. It's not just a morning, it feels like awakening in another realm. What would you do in that moment? Close your eyes and breathe, or reach for the camera to capture proof that you've witnessed something so surreal. Breakfast in space is more than fuel, it's ritual. Pouches of rehydrated fruit, tortillas instead of bread, and coffee squeezed from a silver packet. But the true meal is the view. Picture yourself sipping coffee while Earth drifts slowly below. You might see Africa's deserts glowing like fire, or oceans glimmering sapphire blue. And just as you're chewing on a bite of oatmeal, a mystical surprise appears, a faint green shimmer stretching across the horizon. It's the Aurora Borealis, but from above. On Earth, the northern lights look like curtains of color. From the International Space Station, they become a living crown encircling the planet. Emerald flames dancing against the black canvas of space. It's both meal and meditation, a reminder that the world below is alive with mystery. Would you be able to focus on your food, or would you simply float there in silence, overwhelmed? Life aboard the International Space Station is filled with tasks, experiments, repairs, exercise. But in the mystical edition, even the routine becomes extraordinary. Take exercise, for example. Astronauts spend 2 hours a day running on treadmills or cycling to keep muscles strong. Yet imagine jogging while floating, strapped by harness, as Earth spins beneath your feet at 27,000 kilometers per hour. Every step you take in that tiny module feels like a prayer to gravity itself, the force you've temporarily escaped. Then come the experiments. Tiny plant leaves curling under LED light, fluids behaving like floating spheres, DNA samples waiting to reveal secrets of life. And all the while, the universe peers in from outside the window. Sometimes astronauts report strange glows and flashes. Scientists explain them as cosmic rays striking their retinas, creating phantom sparks. But in those quiet moments, alone with instruments and data, it feels like the cosmos itself is whispering. Have you ever stared at the stars long enough to feel like they're looking back at you? That's the essence of working in orbit. Science becomes a form of communion. If the International Space Station has a temple, it's the cupola, the panoramic window module. This is where astronauts go to gaze. And this is where day turns mystical. Earthrise. Just saying the word feels sacred. Imagine the darkness. Then the curve of Earth glowing blue wrapped in a thin, fragile atmosphere. Clouds swirl like brushstrokes of white paint. Cities sparkle like fireflies, and storms spiral like ancient symbols. Each orbit shows a new face of the planet, a living, breathing mosaic. But then comes the night side. Here, something even stranger happens. You might see faint, ghostly flashes, red sprites and blue jets, electrical storms rising above thunderclouds invisible from Earth's surface. To the astronauts' eyes, they appear like mystical fire spirits leaping into space. No photograph fully captures it. Some describe it as watching the planet dream. And in that silence, as the station drifts, you begin to feel it too, that Earth is more than a home. It's a luminous being, alive in ways we barely understand. As evening approaches, though evening here is only another orbit, astronauts gather for a meal, floating shoulder to shoulder. Laughter echoes softly in the cabin as food pouches are shared, jokes are made, and the smallness of humanity feels like a treasure. Yet even here, the mystical slips in. The cabin windows darken, and beyond them stars blaze unfiltered by atmosphere, millions sharp and cold. On Earth, city lights wash out most of the sky, but here the universe reveals itself in full. Can you imagine drifting into sleep while the Milky Way stretches endlessly above, while your body floats free of weight, and while the planet you once called home glides below, glowing faintly in the dark? Astronauts often say, the most mystical part of the International Space Station is not leaving Earth. It's realizing how deeply connected you are to it. So that's a day in the life of an International Space Station astronaut, through mystical eyes. It's more than science, more than technology. It's a daily reminder that we live on a fragile miracle suspended in infinite darkness. What would you do if you had the chance to see Earth from above? Would you search for your home or simply float in silence, watching the sunrise wrap the planet in gold? If this journey left you curious, inspired, or maybe even a little humbled, give this video a like. It truly helps us bring more cosmic stories your way. And if you're new here, subscribe for more mystical explorations, from space to the unknown corners of Earth itself. Until next time, keep looking up. The universe is always watching back.